Hello, Stacy. How you doing? I guess you printed them, huh? You've printed the second one, not the first one. All right. There might still be a couple mistakes. If so, we'll correct them as we continue. Okay. I just need to loosen up a little bit. I'm going to hit 150. I'm just going to vamp back and forth 4 measures. Hello, Robert. Seth, how you doing? Let's see who's here. Okay, Robert, Paul, Seth, Stacy. How's everybody? Seth, I should be able to get to the post office either today, tomorrow, or Saturday, okay? Everybody got the new PDFs now, right? I told you I'd have them by the morning. I tried to get them last night, but I fell asleep. Like I told Stacy, you look them over, there may be a mistake once in a while. You know, nobody's perfect, and if there is, we'll correct it. Has anybody here been working on Morelos? Rafi, you didn't email me. I can't send you no PDFs if I don't have you on my mailing list. Now, Rafi, email me so I could send you the PDFs. If I don't have your email, I cannot send them to you. Now, I want to break down, and also besides rewriting all those PDFs, I've started to do this first section of the master studies as eighth notes as written, then as triplets. Okay? Now, Stacy, you say to me that, for example, if I did line 1 in master studies as triplets, in order for it to turn around to the 1 with the right hand, it has to be 4 measures. If I do the stick control book in triplets, yes, 3 measures, it turns around to the right hand. So some is going to change 2 measures, 3 measures, 4 measures. So I'm writing them out, and I'm writing them out with the levels. Okay? So that's going to help everybody. Randy, how are you? Now, Randy, I resent the PDFs from yesterday because I made a few mistakes. These are the new PDFs. All right? Now, just take the first PDFs I sent you, rip them up, and throw them away. Or use them as scrap paper to do some coloring or whatever. But the ones I sent you today, All right, should be all right. Maybe there's a mistake here and there, and if there is, we'll correct it. Okay, so Rafi's going to email me. Randy, you got the PDFs. Everybody else here has the PDFs, correct? All right, I want to break each one down. I'm not going to do it in triplets. I'm going to do it as is. Now, I don't have to do 1 through 5, correct? We all know how that works. Okay? Unless someone here wants me to go over it. All right, let me do it. Let me do that. I'm not going to use a metronome yet. So what I'm going to do, see, this book wasn't written when I was with Joe. Towards the end of his life, maybe the last 10 years or so, he wrote the book. And I occasionally went to take a few more lessons from him, but it wasn't about his book. But here's the way, well, we did work on this a little bit, and this is the way he liked it. You know, for me to teach students, instead of sitting there going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and, what I'll do is I'll break it down slow. And I'll say, okay, line 1, we're going to do you in quarter notes. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you do that for a while in quarter notes. All right, okay, Paul, everything's good. All right, now, what I just did was, I did it in quarter notes. Now, let's take, this is gonna be a little too fast for me. Well, not really. To demonstrate it, yes, it will be. I'm gonna stay at 100. And that's my pulse. 1, 2. Now I'm gonna do that in quarter notes for a while. 1, then I'm gonna go to eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Eighth notes. 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. So what I do is I hang out with the quarter notes. I feel good about the quarter notes. Then I'll hang out with the eighth notes. Now, like I said before, I'm writing the triplets. So the way we're going to do them is we'll do them in quarter notes, we'll do them in eighth notes, we'll do them in 16th notes, and then eighth note triplets. Everybody understand that? Well, I didn't get any mail, Rafi. Okay, so do we understand the approach? Quarter notes, eighth notes. We're not going to do triplets yet and 16ths. We'll hold off on that. This is a very difficult book. Well, it's not really difficult. You just have to spend a lot of time with it. So we're okay with 1 through 5. Now you say, okay, I'm a star. I can do 1 through 5. Excuse me. So you say, all right, we're going to hit number 6. There's some very, very interesting things in here. All right, number 6. I say, okay, I'm not going to say, all right, let's play it at 120. You never played it before. So here's your approach. You want to say, okay, well, my rights looks like taps. And my first accent is with a left. So I'm going to need to start here and here. So I have 1 and 2 and 3. It's a free stroke, so I'm in position now to hit my next left. And now I have to come down and up with the last stroke. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's down. See it? You got to slow it down. Do it really slow. Hang out with it for a while in quarters, just like I just did now. Then you say, okay, I got it. Turn it on to the quarter notes. Play it as quarter notes, and then you feel good with that, go to eighth notes again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be an upstroke. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, down, 3, 4. And I'm back here. That's my start. Well, it's not my starting position. My left should be up. The last stroke should be an upstroke. You see that written out? Guys, that's number 8, number 6. What do we got? Some questions here? All right, let me see. Oh. Jimmy, you sent me mail, and you wrote out the triplets. You wrote out the patterns in triplet formation, but it wouldn't open up for me. It opened up and it was just one blank page. I don't know what you did, but that's okay. You see it? You got it? Now, Stacy, let's talk about the triplet. If you were to do line 1 from this book, okay, in eighth note triplets, how many measures would you do it in to come back to the 1 on the right? That's your question for today. But now you got to sit here, no matter how slow it is, just to get the feel of it and understand it. It's 1, you start in here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. You work on it. I'm breaking it down for you. Any questions on line 6? They get a little complicated, a little crazy. But line 6 is easy. Line number 7. Okay, you start in here because your first stroke, your first accent is a left hand, but my rights here seem like all taps for the first measure. So I have 1 is a tap, and is a free stroke. Why? Because my next left is going to be an accent. 2, and. Okay, now I have 3 is a downstroke, and 4, and. That should, okay, you have 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and I'm back to the starting position. That's the way you need to do it for over and over again, relentlessly. You have to be persistent with this. So you're going to conquer it. You watch. It doesn't come back to the 1, Stacy. It does not. If you do line 1, okay, of the master studies, that's this one. And for you to come back on the 1, okay, you have to do 4 measures in triplets. Figure it out, write it out. You have 2 measures of eighth notes. That's 8 and 8 is 16. Then you have 12, and 12 is 24, and another 24 is 48 strokes. Comes back to the 1. You got to do it mathematically. You figure it out. All right? Now, anybody you want me to continue to do number 6 or 7? I'm going to go on to 8 if there's no problem. 8. All right, the first stroke is a left-hand tap, 1. The and now is the first right, but it's accented, so I have to remain in this position after I stroke because my up-and-coming right's an accent. So I have and, 2, and. Now look at the 3, it's a right hand accent. But after that right hand accent, there's no more right hand accents until I start over again. So that's going to be 3, ouch, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. These guys are putting me to sleep, but do you understand the movement, how slow I'm doing it? Even if it's not in tempo. Write it out, Stacy. You'll see. The stick control book, for the first line, all you need is 2 measures. The second line, 2 measures. The third line, 2 measures. This stuff, you need 4 measures. It's different. All right, Randy, do you understand it? Jimmy, Seth, Paul, Rafi? We're going to number 9. Now, if you first get the book, or this is the first time you're going to do line 9, you're not at 120 or 180 or 200. What you're doing is breaking it down. So we're on line 9. I look at the first right, it's an accent. But my next right is not an accent. So what do I have to do? I have to stay down. 1. Now I'm in position to hit a tap. Now, the and has to be an upstroke. Why? Because my next left is an accent. And. Then I have 2, and has to come up. Why does the right hand have to come up? Well, look at the next right. It's an accent. So I'm on the second part of line 9, which is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You got to come up, and I should have been up. I'm sorry. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now, it's not easy doing this and talking at the same time. I did slow. You want me to go slower than that? On line 9? All right. I'm going to pretend I'm you guys, and I've never done this before. Okay, so I look at 9, I say, okay, the first stroke is a right-hand accent, so I have to be here to start. And my first left is not an accent. However, I need to get in position to get an accent after I stroke it. So my first stroke with line 9 is a downstroke. The and is an upstroke, and. That is now in position to nail the next left-hand accent. Then I have 2, which is a tap. And I'm going to hit the and of 2, but look at my next right, it's an accent. And has to come up. Now I'm in this position when I hit the 2, the 3 rather, of that measure. 3 and 4, I have to come up, and, because my next left is an accent. So now I have 1, no, I have to stay down rather, I'm sorry. Oh, come on, Matt. That's 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, up, 3 and 4 and again, 1 and, I'm sorry, it's 1 and 2 and 3. That should have been up, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. That's up. You got to be careful with these. They're difficult, man, very difficult. And I was playing you guys. How slow do you want me to go, Robert? Well, Seth, everything that you play, whether it's from Joe Morello's book, or you played a rock tune, or the stick control book, or rudimental book, it's all the levels. The levels give you the sound. Remember we talked about this? The one sound from this stroke, another sound from this stroke, and this stroke. I noticed with Joe's students, every time I went for a lesson, all his students who were in the rehearsal room or practice room, they were always working that left hand. And they were going down, tap, up, nice and slow. It's a good exercise to warm up. Down, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap. I went to the and of the triplet. How slow do you want me to go, Robert? Line number 9. Downstroke, upstroke, tap, up. Downstroke, tap, tap, up. Downstroke, I should have been down. Downstroke, upstroke, tap, up. Downstroke, tap, tap, tap. Now you see why I come up is always to get in position to nail the accent. If I was playing, this is why you have in the stick control book formula, accent development. It's such a simple process. It's not about how fast you can play, it's about how much you can control the stick. Without controlling the stick, you're not going nowhere. You're not going to play it fast. So if I have the eighth notes, we refer off the stick control book, all the R's were the accent, and I reference off of line 1, all my R's fall on 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm playing this, 1, and 2, and nice and relaxed. Now remember, when you make impact, you're not grabbing the stick, you're stopping it. Up, down, up, a consistent sound. If I was doing line 2, the R's fall to the and, so I have 1, and 2, just to reverse the line 1, and 4, and. Now if I go to line 3, I have double accents, 2 accents on 1 and 2 accents on 3 and, so something else is going to happen. 1 is a free stroke because now I'm in position to nail the second accent, and. But my next stroke is going to be a tap, 2, and has to come up. Now I'm back in position. Nice and slow. That's what you're doing with the Morello book. But he's not confusing you. He's arranged these in such an order that you're developing strength from the right hand attack and from the left hand attack. Let me put my glasses back on. Oh, okay, yeah, you go slow. Well, when you move around, Seth, the question is the level system it's for one surface. You know, if you're going to go from the floor, say the snare drum to the small tom or the floor tom, it is, yeah, you have to lift the stick. You're bringing the stick in position to nail the accent. But if it wasn't an accent, it's just a different motion. But it's still related to the levels. It's part of the level system. But it's a different kind of system. If I'm moving from, use these sticks, from here, and I want to go here, if I want to hit an and I want to come down, where's the other sticks? It's the same thing, Seth. It's just we'll get into maneuvering around a drum set after a few lessons. I would like to really hang out with Morello's book today. Now, what I do expect, if you guys can make a video, Jimmy, where did you order your camera from? The Philippines or what? From 6 to 15. You guys can do all of that for me. Tonight we're going to continue on this. I'd like to get into some of the workbook exercises, the ostinato patterns. Okay. This is to address 2 questions or 2 demonstrations here. The one was Robert yesterday mentioned the halftime shuffle or the Purdy shuffle. I don't refer to them like that. I just refer to it as a halftime shuffle. It's not the Jeff Beccaro shuffle, and it's not Bernard Purdy's shuffle. It's not a signature. Nobody owns it. It's just a halftime shuffle. Now, I've given in the past an exercise from the stick control book as R equals right, left, right, L equals left, right, left. So if I did a run of all R's, I'd have 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. But notice that level was in there, and I'm always in position without any effort. I'm in position to hit the next accent. So what I do with this guy, I'm going to drop the right hand parts on the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. You see that so far, Robert? Now, we're going to do only one more thing. I'm not going to do any foot patterns because we're going to take them from the stick control book up the road someplace. What we're going to do with this is we're going to add one more note on top of this. On the 3. We got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I got to stop looking at the computer because I'm hitting one way and it's coming back another way. Oh boy. That's what you want to do, right, Robert? Immediately. Now I'm putting ghost notes onto the snare drum, and the only one that's accented, okay? Adam Nyreen, how are you? I'm telling your boss. Just kidding. What are you laughing at, Jimmy? Well, you got to do it slow, and that's the key ingredient into whatever you do. You know, nobody's natural. You know, everybody says they're natural. Well, some people pick up things a little bit faster than other people. Certain things, and then those people who don't pick up what they pick up faster, they pick up something different faster than the other guy can. So nobody's really, what do you call it? Natural, all right? Because of all the bullshit that's out there today, and you're learning this and you're learning that, and it prevents whatever's natural from occurring. Now, what I just showed you, Robert, is an exercise from the stick control book. It's the 8th note triplet, as all rights. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now I'm using all ghost notes with that left hand, except now when I hit the 3. And the reason why I'm hitting the 3 is I'm cutting the time, the feel of the time in half. All right, instead of 3, 4, the regular shuffle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So I'm playing that left hand part just on the 3. Over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over and over again. Just do it for 10 minutes. Use a metronome, and then drop the bass drum on just the count of 1, and you're on your way. Then we'll do some bass drum. We'll do some patterns with the foot. See, I start arguments all the time because I'm a bad person, I guess. I listen to Rosanna, and what I just showed you doesn't fit. What I say that he's doing with Rosanna is dotted 16ths. So 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3. That's what I feel, but that's whatever you feel, and that might be the Purdy shuffle, you know. Bernard is really, you know, when he picks up the sticks, magic happens. Okay, so now, That helped you out somewhat, Robert? Everybody's going to send me a video, right, of number 6 to 15. Now, we talked about the levels on one surface. When you're moving around a drum set, Seth, it's very physical. I can get away with stuff like this on just a snare drum. But now I want to put all those actions on the tom. I got to move. See the physical aspect of it? I mean, you know, it's a lot different. I'm coming over and I'm making like a shape like this, a circle. See, actually upstroke, but I'm putting myself in position to hit the tom. 1, E, and the 2. Free stroke down, a free stroke. Got it? Okay. I can't do anything today on a set, but that's what it is. And it's going to help everybody. So listen, I'm not going to expect a video before the lesson tonight, but man, you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to make a video. Don't be frightened of the camera. Don't be frightened of you're nervous because I'm going to like look at what you're doing. That's the objective of doing a video. You come as close as possible. Forget that the camera's even on. Just pretend nobody's in your room. It's just you, your drum pad or your drum set, and the Morello book. And you're working it out. Make a video of that. I don't care if it's a half hour or an hour. I want to see what you're doing. This helps me help you. That's the name of the game. I have some files. Hey, Robert, have you ever gone into my website, the member section? There's about 500 different PDFs in there. I might have the halftime shuffling. If not, I'll send you one. How to develop the foot pattern, okay? And we're going to work on them within the next week or two. But right now, all I want to do is focus in. It's a lot to focus, man. You know, the eighth notes and the triplets, and then you're going to write, I'm going to write them out in triplets. So we're going to grab them as we go forward, not all in one lesson or 2 lessons or 3 lessons. You know, I might do it again tomorrow or maybe even next Wednesday, all right? And then I'll do something else. And maybe 3 weeks after that, I'll come back to it and see where you're at with it. You should be practicing this every day. Has anybody done the endurance exercise that I displayed yesterday? I know Seth does it. Remember Seth holding 16th notes out for 3-4 minutes? Seth? Okay, here's what I'm doing. Now with this virus nonsense, because that's what it's becoming, is nonsense. That's my opinion. Yeah, there's spiking all over the place because they're testing more people. That's what it is. Now, what happens when the flu became an epidemic, there was actually more deaths, all right, from the flu than there is with this. It's actually not, the death rate is going down, all right? Yeah, everybody has it because, you know, they're not wearing a mask, they're gathering in groups, and, you know, they're getting tested, and, you know, they're testing over 500,000 people a day. So they get 20,000 positive and 3 people died. I mean, that's the ratio is you know, and nobody should die, but that ratio is ridiculous. You know, why should you be fearing that? That's my opinion. So here's what I'm doing, and this is tentative. The last weekend of September, the last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm having a camp here. Then you have the last weekend, or the first weekend rather, of December, I'm having it here. So I have 2 more before the end of the year. So see what you guys want to do, and whoever's interested in coming, let me know. We'll sign you all up. Doing one guy is very difficult. Yeah, but see, that will loosen you up real quick. But you don't want to loosen up that quick. But I just gave you that example because you were playing for a while when you were sitting here, okay? But yeah, you want to, at least for the first 15 minutes, do the stick control book, full strokes, half strokes, quarter strokes, and then go on to whatever you want to practice. That's my recommendation. Okay, is there any questions? Mr. Adam, are you on my mailing list? Let me give you my email. Oh. Where is it? Adam, you there? Adam Nyreen. You're welcome. Too late, Jim. I got it. Thank you. Email me. I'll send you the PDFs. If you don't email me, you can't get the PDFs. And Rafa, you said you're emailing me again. Okay. If I get your emails, I can send you the PDFs for today. And you can work on them in the next 5 days. I will be back tonight, 7 p.m. Maybe a little early. Now, you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to practice all this stuff. That's one of the reasons why we're not going 4 days a week right now, other than the fact that it's summertime and I want to do some things with my family. We're going to consider another schedule come September. If I'm going to go 4 days or 3 days or stay with 2. It's all going to be up to you guys. You have more time now to practice, and so do I. So there's no questions, no problemes. Work hard, bring me the questions, email me the questions, whatever it is that you might want to do. You're welcome, Stacy. Stacy, why don't you write it out? The first line of master studies in triplets. See how many measures you come. Now, see, you're getting confused here. When I write it, I start 1 and. Now that's where I want to start again. That means that ends the cycle. Where that starts again, that process is after the 4th measure on the 1. So it's 5 measures. The 5th measure, it comes back. Some work on 2 measures, some work on 3 measures. Okay, Stacy? Good. Okay, Stacy? You'll figure it out. Or you know what? When I get the first page written out, I'll show you if that's better. But I want to write out at least 20 from the beginning. All right, in triplets. These are not easy. I mean, a result of this book, or the contents of this book, all you have to do, I don't know if you ever saw Joe Morello live, but you listen to his recordings. I mean, this man has astronomical chops, and they were extremely musical. I've had the opportunity many, many times, and so do a lot of my friends that have sat next to him and worked with him. Unbelievable. You're struggling with 2 hands. He fixes his glasses with the 1 hand, and he's doing it with his left hand. You talk about encouragement? Nah, that's not encouragement. But he still, the guy was a beautiful guy, a great, great teacher, and a great, great drummer. I mean, there's nobody the best. He was Joe Morello. He's helped me, and all my friends who went to him are great players. Okay, guys. It's going to be a heat wave again today. stay inside, the air conditioning. Jimmy, you do that. All right, so hopefully I get to that triplet thing complete, and I'll send it to everybody. And I'll send it with the levels on it as well.